Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and it's a real pleasure to be here with all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, as you start this part of your online learning journey. You know, in today's world of hospitality, success isn't just about what you know. It's really about who you can successfully partner with. So today, we're going to walk through the essential framework that's going to define your ability to build powerful, lasting alliances. Let's dive right in.
Okay, let's start with this quote because it is just so important. Strategic alignment determines whether a partnership will succeed or fail. Now, I want you to really think about that. This isn't just some nice-sounding opinion, it's the fundamental principle we're going to build everything on today. You see, in the complex, super interconnected world of hospitality we're in now, your ability to forge aligned partnerships, well, that's what's going to directly determine your success. It's the critical point where collaborations either take off and flourish, or they completely fall apart.
So what we're going to cover right here in this explainer is a really practical, professional framework for figuring out partnership fit. And I want to be clear, this is not some abstract theory from a textbook. No, this is a critical skill you will use constantly out there in the real world. I'm talking about evaluating tech vendors, marketing partners, joint ventures, you name it. Getting this right is absolutely essential for leadership because, let's be honest, getting it wrong can cost you millions.
All right, so where do we begin? Let's dive into the first of our three critical pillars, shared vision. This is, without a doubt, the starting point for any successful collaboration. I mean, think about it. Before any contracts are even looked at, before any plans are made, you absolutely have to confirm that you and your potential partner are both sailing towards the exact same horizon.
So what do we actually mean by shared vision? Because it's way more than just some vague goal you both agree on. It's a really precise mutual agreement on three key things. First, what are our core objectives? Are we trying to increase RevPAR, or is this all about building brand awareness? Second, who are our target markets? Are we going after luxury leisure travelers, or is the focus on corporate accounts? And third, and this is so crucial, how are we going to measure success? What are the specific KPIs that will define a win for both of us?
And the consequences of getting this right or wrong, well, they're pretty stark, as you can see. It's really a choice between two very different paths. Just like you're learning at Europe Hotel School, when you have an aligned vision, you get shared goals, you get clear direction, you get efficiency. But a misaligned vision, well, that's a recipe for disaster. You're talking conflicting priorities, constant tension, and just a catastrophic waste of time and resources.
Okay, so you've got the same destination plugged into your GPS, but that's not enough, is it? It's not enough if you completely disagree on the rules of the road. And that brings us to our second pillar, aligned values. Think of this as the ethical and philosophical foundation. It's where all the trust is truly built.
You know, aligned values are like these invisible forces that guide hundreds of tiny decisions every single day. They touch everything. We're talking about your ethical standards in sourcing and hiring, your service philosophy. Are you all about high-touch personalization, or is it tech-driven efficiency? And of course, your brand positioning. It's simple, right? A luxury brand just cannot partner effectively with a budget-focused operator if their core values are fundamentally at odds.
So here's the bottom line, the crucial point. When your ethical standards, your service philosophy, and your brand positioning are all in sync, you build this solid foundation of trust. And what does that do? It makes navigating the inevitable challenges so much more effective. Because you're not just arguing about a problem anymore, you're both operating from the same rulebook on how to solve it.
All right, let's move on to our third and final pillar. So, you've got a shared destination, you've got a shared code of conduct for the journey. What's next? Well, now you need a compatible vehicle to actually get you there. And this is what we call operational fit. This is where the high-level strategy meets the nitty-gritty of day-to-day execution.
Operational fit really is the machinery of your partnership. It's all the practical stuff. We're talking about the compatibility of your systems, your tech stacks, your daily workflows, even your decision-making styles. I mean, imagine this. If one partner is super nimble and quick and the other is bogged down in bureaucracy, well, even the most inspiring shared vision is going to grind to a complete halt in a sea of friction.
And this right here just says it all, doesn't it? Without operational alignment, even the strongest strategic intent may falter. You can have the most brilliant, detailed blueprint for success, but if your construction crews are using mismatched tools and totally conflicting methods, that amazing building is never, ever going to get built. Strategy without operational alignment, it's just a beautiful plan that sits on a shelf and gathers dust. So, this brings us to the really big question, doesn't it? How is true alignment actually achieved and then maintained? Because this is the key question for you as future leaders. It's one thing to understand what alignment is, but it's a completely different game to know how to build it and, just as importantly, how to sustain it. So let's pivot from the what to the how.
And this is so important to grasp. Alignment is not a one-time checklist you just tick off when you sign the contract. Far from it. You need to think of it more like a living, breathing thing, like a garden that requires constant attention and care. It has to be actively managed through the entire life of the partnership, not just at the very beginning.
Okay, so for your careers, this 4-step process is your practical toolkit. This is what you take with you. Number 1, it starts with rigorous due diligence. That means asking all the tough questions about vision, values, and operations before you even think about committing. 2, it's all built on a foundation of honest, open dialogue. 3, it's structured by clearly defining roles, so there's no confusion or misunderstandings down the road. And finally, 4, it's sustained by continuously reviewing and evolving the partnership. Because guess what? Strategies and markets are always changing.
Ultimately, this is the why. This is why all of this matters so much. Taking this kind of disciplined approach, it's not just about trying to avoid a few arguments. No, it's about making sure your partnerships deliver real, sustainable value to your business. And, just as importantly, it's about making sure they reinforce and protect the integrity of your brand.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to take with you. Every single significant step in your career, chances are it's going to be linked to a partnership of some kind. Using this framework, thinking about vision, values, and operations is what will empower you to choose those partnerships wisely. So the real question is, which partnership will you choose to build, and how will it define your legacy?